Hi, everybody. Welcome to Olamide and I podcast. And with me today, I have best friend, beautiful mama, old school G, Oluwa Kemi Buraimoh, aka Aria Fab, aka Ramoli.
That's for the
Everybody, roll the
oldies.
drum. Hi, Kemi. How are you?
Oh my God, this is a full circle moment.
I know.
We're doing it.
That's it.
We're doing it.
We are. We
Outside the room.
Outside the room. We procrastinated enough about
Ah,
it.
This is good. This is good. Thank you. Thank you for
You're
having me.
welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And let's take it back to the days when we came to
That's
the
the one you
States.
picked?
Yes, when we came to the States together as single mothers.
Aye, aye,
Ah,
aye, 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 aye,
down memory lane.
I mean, if we gotta talk about it, I mean, why not?
We should talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We should talk about it.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
lived together and it was back in Maryland, right?
yeah.
Yes, and we lived in Maryland for a couple of months before.
Yeah.
How did we find ourselves in Chicago? Do you remember the story?
I want to say that God wanted us to be here
Hmm.
because I mean, look at us now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a journey,
It's been a journey.
and I mean, I'm grateful that I got to do it with you, and
Hmm.
we're still we're still we're still going.
Yeah, we are.
We keep moving,
We keep moving.
and I want to say that for us,
Yeah.
we still got lucky, and we are here today achieving most of the things that we talked about.
I mean, we're not there yet, but we know where we used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. The babies are all grown, they're flourishing.
Hmm.
We're doing stuff that we actually like for work.
I know. I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Where I am right now used to be a huge prayer point.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I meant by it's been a journey, but we're in a good place right
We
now.
are. We are. Do you back to that story? How we find ourselves in Chicago from Maryland as single moms? Because I came to the United States pregnant, and you.
I lived
I
in
think
Maryland.
yeah, you lived in Maryland. I think Tariq was like 3 thereabouts years
Yeah,
old.
he had just turned 3,
You just on 3,
and you
and
were gonna go to Houston,
I was gonna go to
Texas.
Houston.
The plan was something else entirely. You were supposed to go to Houston, and then yeah, that didn't go well.
And that didn't go well at all. That's that story for another day.
Yeah, no,
For
we can't,
another
we can't
episode.
keep that one in
No,
today.
that story for another episode.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and there's this friend of yours that asked us to come to Chicago, and we found ourselves in Chicago. And ever since then, it's been beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of my girls from high school.
Right.
You know, uh,
Honestly, I'm not going to talk about.
no, that's not.
No.
That's
We
not,
shouldn't
that's
talk
not
about
for this
that. We
podcast.
should- because it was a crazy night.
That's a can of worms.
I know.
That's not for this podcast, but I mean, if the people want it, we give it to them. Right?
I know, but till today, when I still see her, I roll my eyes. Like,
Hey, spoiler, spoiler alert.
Okay. We're not talking about it. We're not talking
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
for another episode. So,
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
It's
I want to say that for sure it's been amazing. We've had our
it's been amazing.
downs, a lot of downs.
A lot of downs.
But I remember discussing this with you the other day. I don't remember who else it was in that conversation when we were talking about having cereal morning,
Yeah.
afternoon, night.
And night. So there was
And-
my listeners, guys out there, there was a time in the United States, me and my friend, we used to eat cereal, just cereal, bread and butter,
Yeah.
cereal and milk,
Hawaiian.
like Hawaiian
Butter.
bread and butter for so many months. And I was breastfeeding.
Yeah, that was
Jesus Christ.
That was
I don't want to cry right now.
It was, again, that's the reason I said when we just started that one of the things that I'm grateful for is the Thanksgiving
Yeah,
season, and
it is.
it's for those babies. They were very little then, but look at them now. So I just want to say that for women out there, not just single moms, even women in marriages,
Right.
you're doing excellent. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. We're living in it. So
Right.
I can say for a fact that you're doing amazing, because it's not an easy feat to, take care of kids, actually want to blossom in your career, actually want to pursue something that you want for yourself.
Right.
And you have to be a good friend, a good sister, a
Right.
good wife, a good girlfriend, a good single mom, if that's the situation.
Yes.
And I just want to say that all the moms out there, you're doing great, you're doing excellent. Kudos to you.
Kudos.
And it's a great achievement.
Do you remember when we lived at I think our first apartment? No,
That was
no. Let's not fast forward to that. when we got to Chicago, and that night we stayed somewhere in a hotel, and
We got stood up. Yeah.
we got stood up and we stayed somewhere in a hotel till the next day, and we moved to our friend's house.
Yeah.
Remember? And
Shout out to Roy
shout out to
Papas.
Wale.
Roy Papas of San Diego.
Of San Diego.
He's
And
a good
Mayowa.
one. He's a good one. And Mayo Escobar.
And Mayowa.
Those are the
two
good
dudes.
ones. And
Because
they
those guys
they,
accommodated us for
about 4 months ish. Yeah. They literally abandoned their rooms for us.
And
with the kids.
with the
and
kids.
with no strings attached. Can you
Nothing
believe
at
that?
all. Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
No strings attached.
No strings attached. And I mean, there's still people like that out there. And when people, if you're not gonna do something, it doesn't mean it's impossible to do. So I always say this: if something is within my capacity to do
Yeah.
for someone else,
Yeah.
I always try my best, because I feel like if God has it in plans for that person to be able to achieve that thing, it's going to be done.
Anyways, yes.
Anyways,
Right.
No matter what I do. So why wouldn't I be a part of that person's story. In a good way? So
Positive.
that's why I try my best, even if it's just basic information, just
Right.
pointing people in the right direction. Like, I always know someone who knows someone.
That could get absolutely.
So it just goes without saying that we need to try to be good neighbors, good friends, good. Just try.
Because we wanted to we wanted to stay there for few weeks, probably 1 month, and we found ourselves
It wasn't
there
like
for
we had any specific plans anyway.
nah.
So, but then the fact that they let us get our feet on the ground.
I mean, thinking about it, it's just, thinking about it right now, with those little kids, we went through all of that. And when we moved to our first apartment,
We didn't have one single piece of furniture.
no furniture. We slept on the floor for
And the kids thought it was really cool.
oh my goodness.
Remember when Tariq went and said to his teachers at the daycare, and said, "Oh, we got a bed."
Finally.
Finally.
Finally. After our bed, oh.
I know.
Finally, we got a bed,
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's one thing to actually want to do something, and then it's another thing to actually be able to do it.
To do it.
So again, those were good old days.
Good old
And I'm
days.
grateful that we get to talk about it this way today. And
And we're both alive. Both of us are alive. And I remember our first Christmas at that,
that apartment.
That apartment. We were there, and I think we didn't have food to eat. We had to go to some friend's place. Probably, I think
What did we
Wally's
do
place.
then?
We went to
Oh,
Wally's
he
house.
actually took us out.
He took us out.
That was the first time we went to Benny-Anna.
Benny-Anna in downtown Chicago.
downtown Chicago, yeah.
And it was so tough then.
Yeah.
The other day we were talking about it with a couple of friends. The only word that came to my mouth was tough. It was really tough. It was really tough.
Absolutely agree.
It was really tough. Back in Nigeria, that wasn't what I envisioned. Like,
It was going to be like coming out
you
here.
know, it got to a point I sat down like, is this the America I watch on, on the TV?
Oh no, a bunch of my friends then they would say to me like, on like a lighter note, they would say, "Oh, are you sure you're in there abroad?"
Because no pictures,
No
nothing.
pictures, yeah, no receipts.
No,
No
nothing to
pictures,
show.
nothing to show for it.
Nothing.
Like we were just like existing,
I remember vividly there was a day my mom called me on video call and she saw she saw me on WhatsApp video call and was like, "Oh, Lamide, is this you?"
Mm-hmm.
Like I looked so skinny.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like
Very well, like yesterday.
I looked so skinny. Like Amy or T, you
I
you
know,
know?
I know. I mean, back in Lagos, I always wanted to hang out with you, because I knew that you were the short plug. I'm like, I gotta call Sister Lams. Like, she knows where we gotta be tonight.
But,
She knows where it's happening. So
But America go humble you. Jeez.
Yeah.
It go humble you. And when we finally moved, I think it was our second apartment, we thought, okay, I think I arrived, but dear. Our second apartment was some downtown. And we were like, okay, I think we're getting there. We got furniture little by little. You remember?
Yeah. Yeah, we moved to downtown Arlington Heights at the Downtown Tower.
Yes.
Yeah.
We moved there.
I think that was good for us, even though we were broke most of the time after paying rent and stuff.
Nothing anymore.
But then again, I enjoyed the feeling of what we could achieve, what was possible. When we got that apartment and we lived in the same building with those kind of people, the kind of people that we saw, the kind of people that we ran into every day, it just told me that this is doable. You girls can do it.
Right.
You just need to get good jobs that's steady and, live the American dream.
Live the American dream. Keep your heads high.
So even though that place was expensive,
it was super expensive for us then.
It just got me to believe that we could do it, and yeah.
And now look at you.
We're doing it.
Married, 3 kids. You have an amazing husband.
Shout out to my baby who let me come out here today.
I know, mother.
Looking all
3.
fine.
You came here with just 1, and now you have 3 beautiful kids.
Yeah.
So how is it like being a married woman? Because I know, even though I'm older than you, I'm your big sis, but you are professional in that aspect.
No, nobody believes that.
You're bigger than me in that
this
aspect.
day that I'm bigger. It's been amazing. I have to say, you've lived through it. You continue to see it every day.
Right.
It's been amazing, and I am so grateful for my baby.
I know.
He's the absolute love of my life.
Oh, well.
And I always say to him, he's the best in daddying. He's awesome.
You can say that again.
He's amazing.
He is amazing. And my Michelle says,
our favorite Buraimoh by association.
Mommy, can I change my name to Buraimoh and live with Auntie Kemi?
She already is one by association. So that's just all legalities.
And I'll say, would you choose Auntie Kemi over it? She says, but she's my second mommy.
Yeah. You already know that.
She's my second mommy. You have a beautiful family. What advice would you give single moms out there trying to take this kind of beautiful step move that you took then? Although it was tough, would you advise them to come here with their kids first, or just come in here to settle and then go back and, or would you say, you know what, I did it, you can do it, take the bold step, start coming. Anyways, we go raw farm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm that person who always goes for, if it can be done, I'll do it. If it can be done, I will do it. So whatever it is that is your vibe, that is your thing, because
That is your thing.
for me, I would never go anywhere without my babies. I don't care how hard anyone is saying it's going to be. You know, no one could have stopped me from bringing my son out here when I did. You know, it was either I bring it with me or we don't go anywhere.
Anyway.
You know, so, but for some people, the dynamics might be different.
Right.
And this is something that I want to say to women who feel like I have to like leave these kids at this particular time to achieve some certain goals. Do not kick yourself too hard. You know,
Right.
because again, the dynamics are different. Now, it was different for me at the time. You know, when you're left with not many choices, there's, you know,
You can say that again.
so you just have to decide what your vibe is.
Right.
You know, what's looking feasible. You know,
Right.
the most realistic idea, the most realistic you know, decision to make
Decision to make
at
right.
the time. You know,
Okay.
so you know, a lot of people, or I would never be caught being a person to quickly judge other people, especially other women, because if you haven't walked in those shoes,
Do not judge anybody.
again, we listen.
We don't judge. Well, listen, we don't. You know, the story is always different when it's not yours. It's sweeter in your mouth when
Absolutely.
it's not yours. Like, okay,
Absolutely.
da-da-da-da-da. But you know,
Absolutely.
so I really love your family. I
Oh, we love you
anytime,
too. Little too
anytime,
much.
anytime I see you, like, oh wow, 3 kids.
Yeah.
You're really you're really doing the job. You're doing an amazing
we're
work.
not.
You're
We're not doing anymore, so
I know.
no more kids.
I know. What if your husband comes up tomorrow? Hey,
No, don't tell him I said that.
do not watch this.
Pinky promise, don't tell him I said that.
You're a brave person. I would say that.
Oh,
You're
thank
so
you.
brave.
Thank
you know, I might just look tough or probably look like the hard girl. You know, I'm a big baby.
You're such a baby. Absolutely. Sometimes you call me on the phone and I'm like, Sister Lana, calm down. Don't overthink it.
I'm such a big baby. Those times we lived together, like you're the stronger person. Like,
Yeah, someone has to
let's
be.
do it. Let's do.
You know? And I think it was easier for me to do because I've always known that was the kind of person that you are. You're very fragile. You know, I mean, you remember in Nigeria, we would say, baby.
Baby, you and when we can, okay. Thank you so much for bringing that up because I've always wanted to ask you, like, in Nigeria, you used to call me baby. What happened to? Is it because a baby has a baby now? There's
Well, it could be
Michelle in the
that,
picture
but
now.
it
And
could
in
be
Nigeria,
that.
Michelle wasn't there.
It could be that.
Because
Yeah.
and one thing I really love about you is you are so handy.
Yeah.
You are so. Anytime you want to get something done in the house, you fix it. You'll fix it. You're like a man.
Thank you for saying that.
I do not know how to do those.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, I think that, again, it goes back to knowing your person,
Right.
you know. I mean, I love you, but it has to be done. So
Right.
somebody
Right.
has to do it.
Somebody has to do it.
So, yeah, I
So-
absolutely. I try to.
So, do you miss Nigeria? Do you see yourself like, okay, I'm gonna move back there someday finally with my family, or this is home?
This is a tricky question.
Is
Why'd
it?
you ask this one?
You didn't see that coming.
Well, I kind of miss Nigeria now.
No. Not when we were struggling.
Oh no. No. I miss it now because, I mean, I can make some magic happen with some change to
Right.
travel with now.
You know you're the Odogres now. You know.
Back
Show
to the
us this
question.
way. Give us the
Back
money.
to the question.
Just give me my money.
Well, back to the question. I feel like I can actually take a vacation back to Nigeria now and
Okay.
actually do it the way that I've always wanted to do it.
Wanted to.
But moving back, that's not something that I would even consider in the next 10, 15 years. Maybe moving somewhere else,
Okay.
That I might consider, but definitely not moving permanently back to Nigeria
Permanently.
right now. Not right now.
Okay.
Not with the kids so young.
Oh, okay. So this is another tricky question.
My God.
Do you, I mean, there's nothing to mix. I don't even think I should ask that question because we're single. We really want to get married so bad. Like, America is so, is this country is structured for two people.
It is.
It is structured
It
for
is.
two people.
It is.
Sometimes you need your daddy, your zaddy, your husband to massage your back for you after work. Your feet.
It's a long list, actually.
To do all, and here is a single person with nobody, and you just, so that's not even something
it's you're right. This country can be very lonely. It can be very, very lonely because we were not raised in that kind of culture, like growing up in Nigeria, there's always something to do. There's always someone to see. Even sometimes some people you don't want to see.
Some people you don't want to see.
So there's always something, so that transition moving out here, that's why my heart goes out to people who are just like relocating this past few years, maybe to the UK, to Canada. The other day I saw this girl. She was working in a warehouse or like a factory type of setting, and she was like crying.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
And I could relate to that. Like, I totally... I got how she was feeling at that moment. Remember the Metal Impact days?
We worked in factory. It got to a point someone would stay at home with the kids, the other person would go to work, and we worked in did that factory. For a minute.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this story.
Jeez.
I had one full circle moment when I worked with Abbott. Yeah. And I had gone back to the same hotel that I did housekeeping for one day.
Oh my gosh.
And we had an event there, and the people there, my coworkers there, they didn't understand.
Right.
But
that feeling, grateful. Indescribable.
Yes.
Yes, I
absolutely.
came here as a housekeeper.
Absolutely. And it was like, what, 4 years ago?
A lot could happen in 1 year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot.
But it's just, why did it have to be that same hotel, I mean, I'm not one to be too sentimental, but the universe was telling me something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
When I saw that video on Instagram of that lady in the factory,
you saw me with my little. Oh, okay, yeah.
I was just like, this was me and Kemi when we just moved to the United States. It was really tough.
It was.
I didn't see myself working at all, like in a factory. Then I would just cry myself to bed. Sometimes I wouldn't even let you know, like, okay, because Kemi is gonna call me a baby again. I literally cried myself to bed every night. With Michelle, with like, what's really going on?
Being a baby, and a baby can't really get it, like you still have to be a mom.
Regardless.
Yeah.
You still have to be a mom.
You still have to be a mom.
Regardless. It was really tough, and we thank God we know where we used to be. We haven't gotten the house in Beverly Hills yet, or San Diego, or Santa Monica, but it is coming.
So we still want the Houston house for Houston days.
You know what I'm saying?
And we still want the San Diego house.
You know what I mean?
For San Diego days. And of course, we want the Chicago house.
We want the Chicago house. But the Chicago house is during the summer, no winter. It's so cold.
Only summertime chi.
Only summertime. Only summertime. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for
my God.
coming on my show.
This is so much fun.
And
you bringing me back?
And guess what? You're the first female on the show.
Okay, get it.
Roll the drum, guys. Roll the drum.
Get it. I mean, when you told me, I'm like, oh, I got impressed.
Yeah.
I got
like
impressed,
Kemi,
girl.
she just got to come on the seat because it's just something that, they say there's this Yoruba adage that says when you're rich you do not remember when you used to be poor anymore. But
What?
yeah. There's this.
How does that go?
Yeah, like you haven't heard it before.
Did you make that up?
No, I didn't make that up.
No,
I think something like that
I know
existed.
a lot of Yoruba adages, and I never heard that one before.
Oh, well, maybe you're not the real Yoruba girl, but I am. There's this, like, when you're rich, how do I say it in Yoruba? Like, take your batsy, lowo, oh, ni ranti ojo to fi kusheri.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay,
Yes.
yeah.
So, but this one, I would never forget. Like,
it's a part of our story.
part of our story.
It's
Part of our story.
That's what makes us us.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's not something that you just tune out.
Yeah.
It's not trauma.
No.
You know,
no.
it's days of humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings. Humble beginnings. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on
you.
Olamide and I podcast.
You got to bring me
I
back.
appre-
This is so fun.
I'll bring you back. I'll bring you. I'll bring you back, and I want you to say small little shout out to my viewers out there watching Olamide and I podcast.
Well, hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. Continue to subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe because it's about to get hot, even later and later. Thank you, and we appreciate you all. God bless you.
Amen.
Have a wonderful rest of the year.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Olamide and I podcast. We appreciate you. And to the cameraman, to my videographer, to everybody behind the scenes, we appreciate you guys. Until next time, stay tuned. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye.